Once upon a time, in a quiet town not too far from the city, there lived a young woman named Miriam. She was known for her calm spirit, her beauty, and her gentle heart. Everyone who met her admired her kindness. She believed that love could conquer anything. Miriam fell deeply in love with a young man named Michael. He was handsome, educated, and charming. They dated for many years, shared laughter, dreams, and promises. When he finally asked her to be his wife, Miriam felt like the happiest woman alive. She believed her life had finally found peace. Their wedding was beautiful. Family and friends came to celebrate their love. Even Michael's mother, Mama Rose, danced with joy, though deep down her smile was fake. Mama Rose never liked Miriam. From the first day she met her, she told her friends quietly that no woman was good enough for her son. And in her heart, she swore she would never accept Miriam as her daughter-in-law. When Miriam moved into her new home, she did everything to please her husband and his mother. She woke up early every morning to cook, cleaned the house, and prayed for peace to dwell in their home. But peace never came. Every weekend, Mama Rose would visit, and trouble would follow. She would drop her bags and shout, "Miriam, bring me water. Wash my clothes. Clean this place." If Miriam bought her a gift, she mocked it, saying, "Is this what you can afford for your mother-in-law?" Still, Miriam never complained. She would smile and obey. When Mama Rose told her to wash her clothes by hand instead of using the washing machine, Miriam did it quietly. When she asked her to cook 5 different meals at once, Miriam did it without arguing. She believed that one day, Mama Rose's heart would soften. But instead of softening, the woman grew worse. She would whisper to her son that your wife is lazy. She's not a good woman. You better open your eyes before she brings you shame. Slowly, her words poisoned Michael's heart. Michael began to change. He stopped coming home early. He stopped saying kind words to Miriam. He started shouting over small things. When Miriam asked where he had been, he replied, "Must I report my movement to you? Who do you think you are?" And when months passed without a child, he called her barren. "My mother was right," he said. "What kind of woman cannot even give her husband a child?" Each word pierced Miriam's heart like a knife. Every night she cried on her pillow, praying silently, "Oh God, please touch my husband's heart. Let him remember how he used to love me." But her prayers went unanswered. One night, Mama Rose made up her mind to destroy Miriam completely. She secretly mixed sleeping pills into Miriam's drink. When Miriam fell into a deep sleep, the evil woman brought a strange man into the house and placed him beside Miriam on the bed. She took pictures, then called her son in the middle of the night. "Michael, come home right now. Your wife is with another man in your bed," she cried. Michael rushed home in anger. When he entered the bedroom and saw the strange man lying next to his wife, he shouted in rage, "You filthy woman! So this is what you do behind my back?" Before Miriam could wake fully or explain, he dragged her out of the bed and pushed her out of the house. He threw her clothes at her and shouted, "Get out of my house!" Neighbors gathered as Miriam begged, crying, "Michael, please listen to me. I don't know this man." But Michael's heart was blind. He locked the door and left her outside. That night, Miriam slept by the roadside, weeping until morning. A few days later, Mama Rose traveled to the village and returned with a new wife for her son. A young lady named Oge. Oge was beautiful and full of sweet words. She greeted Mama Rose with a deep bow and said, "Mama, I will be your daughter, your helper, your everything." Mama Rose smiled proudly, thinking she had finally found the perfect wife for her son. Michael and his mother traveled to the village to pay Oge's bride price. When they returned to the city, Oge continued her act of humility, calling Mama Rose Mama and cooking her favorite meals. The old woman would tell her friends, Now this is the real wife my son deserves, but Oge's true colors soon appeared. One afternoon, Mama Rose told Oge to pound yam for dinner. Oge looked at her and said sharply, "Mama, am I your maid? If you're hungry, you know where the kitchen is." Mama Rose was shocked. She thought Oge was joking, but she wasn't. From that day, everything changed. Oge started controlling the house. She stopped cooking, made Mama Rose do the chores, and insulted her openly. When the old woman complained, Oge shouted, "If you don't like it, go back to your village." Michael could not believe his eyes. Oge insulted him too. Whenever he complained, she would call her brothers to come beat him up. She started demanding expensive wigs, handbags, shoes, and vacations. Abroad. Even when Michael said he couldn't afford it, she would scream, "You must, or I'll leave you." Michael began taking loans to satisfy her demands. He became broke, tired, and miserable. The same man who once mocked his wife now cried in silence. His mother, the once proud Mama Rose, became the housemaid. She washed, cooked, and swept just to have peace in her son's home. One evening, when Mama Rose tried to caution Oge, the girl slapped her across the face. "Old woman, don't ever raise your voice at me again," she shouted. Mama Rose cried bitterly that night. The same daughter-in-law she once rejected, she now wished she could have back. Years passed, and Michael's company, Bluestone Enterprises, announced an important project. They needed someone to represent the company and secure a major contract with another big firm known as Royal Gate Holdings. The management chose Michael. His boss warned him, "This contract is our only hope. If you don't get it, don't bother coming back." Michael promised he would deliver. He dressed neatly and went to the meeting, praying things would finally turn around. When he got to Royal Gate Holdings, he waited nervously in the boardroom. After 30 minutes, the door opened, and a woman walked in, elegant, confident, and graceful. Michael looked up and his heart froze. It was Miriam. She looked radiant, powerful, and unbothered. She had changed. Success had given her a new glow. Miriam was now the managing director of Royal Gate Holdings. She didn't even look at Michael twice. She began the meeting professionally, asking sharp questions and listening to other companies present their offers. When it was Michael's turn to speak, he stood up, but no words came out. He stuttered, fumbled, and finally sat down in shame. Everyone in the room stared at him. Miriam said nothing. She quietly gathered her files and walked out. By the time Michael returned to his office, his boss was furious. "You embarrassed us. Go and get that contract or you're fired," he shouted. The next day, Michael went back to Royal Gate Holdings and begged the security guards to let him see Miriam. When she saw him stabbing outside, she told them to let him in. In her office, Michael fell on his knees and cried, "Miriam, please forgive me. My mother deceived me. Oge destroyed me. I've lost everything. Please help me. If I don't get this contract, I'll lose my job." Miriam looked at him calmly and said, "Michael, you already lost everything the day you threw me out into the street. I begged you to believe me, but you chose your mother's lies over love. Look where it has brought you." Michael sobbed, "Please, Miriam, I was foolish. Don't let me suffer." But Miriam's heart was firm. "No, Michael," she said, "I'm not the same woman you once humiliated. I am the managing director of Royal Gate Holdings and the wife of its owner, Alhaji Babagida. I owe you nothing. Get out of my office." Michael tried to speak again, but Miriam turned away and called security. "Please escort him out," she said calmly. As he was led out, tears filled his eyes. For the first time, he truly understood the meaning of regret. Days later, Michael was fired from Bluestone Enterprises. When he told Oge, she laughed and said, "You can't even keep a job. Useless man." She stopped giving him food, insulted him daily, and soon packed her bags to leave. She went to live with another man who had more money. Michael's world collapsed completely. He blamed his mother for everything. "Because of you, I lost the only good woman I ever had," he shouted. Mama Rose begged for forgiveness, crying bitterly, but he sent her back to the village. He became a broken man, jobless, lonely, and full of sorrow. He would sit outside at night staring into the empty sky, wishing he could turn back time. As for Mariam, her life blossomed like a flower in the morning sun. She lived happily with her husband, Alhaji Babagida, and they were blessed with 2 handsome sons and a beautiful daughter. Mariam used her success to help widows and young women, teaching them that pain can become power if you refuse to give up. And whenever people asked her about her past, she would smile softly and say, "Some storms come to destroy you, but others come to show you who you truly are." In the end, Mama Rose died in regret. Ogay was abandoned by the man she ran after, and Michael spent his remaining days in sorrow, a living lesson that wickedness always comes home to roost. A wicked heart never escapes its harvest. No matter how much darkness surrounds you, a pure and patient heart will always find the light, the end. Thanks for watching, like, and subscribe.